Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Justice all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance. Until they didn't, and until he didn't.
Yeah.
He effed around, and he found out.
Yes, he did. F around and find out.
Nicolas Maduro had his chance. He effed around, and he found out.
We captured Maduro and we brought him here.
Yeah.
Venezuelans listen to them cheer.
Uh-huh.
To other dictators who get in my way, I say, go ahead, punk. Make my day.
Come on.
F around and find out.
Nice to have a president with balls.
F around and find out. Iran's gonna find out. In the end, I'm gonna have my say.
Iran's next.
Putin better wise up.
Then Cuba.
Or we're gonna rise up.
Then Colombia.
F around and find out. The war in Ukraine, you gotta end it soon.
The Dems are gonna win the midterms.
Better turn around. Go back home or you'll be drowned. Nigeria is on notice too.
Yeah, too, yeah.
Stop the killing. I am warning you. F around and find out. Mess around and find out.
Come on.
F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day.
Isn't it nice to have a president with balls? Yeah, I said it. I said balls on the air. Can you believe I actually said that? Yeah, I said it on air because we have a great president. We have a fantastic president, a guy who's doing everything right. And the greatest thing is that the Democrat Party is siding on the wrong side of everything, and they're descending. They're doing a death spiral into hell. I mean, they really are. They're doing a death spiral into hell. They fell in love with Tren de Aragua members. Then they fell in love with Raptors, and then they fell in love. And Joe Biden, I don't know if you knew this, when Joe Biden was the bounty on Nicolas from $10 to $25 million. Joe Biden did nothing, but strongly worded statements and talks about sanctions. Did nothing at all, and was played because the Democrat Party sucks at everything. They fail at everything, and I love the fact they haven't learned anything from last November, and they're continuing to dig a hole and bury themselves. I mean, to come out as millions, tens of millions of Hispanic-speaking, Spanish-speaking Hispanic people, Venezuelans, etc., around the world are celebrating the deposition of a dictator, the arrest of a criminal who destroyed the economy, who starved people, who threw people in jail, who wrecked everything in Venezuela, made life a living hell. And they're celebrating, and yet the Democrat Party can't bring themselves to say it's a good thing, even though they had asked Donald Trump to do it when he was the president, and said, "Why haven't you done anything?" And then, of course, we look at Joe Biden's presidency, and he did D word for Richard. He did absolutely nothing. Donald Trump does something. What does the Democrat Party do? They spit in the face of not only our military, but everyone who wants to breathe free air in Latin America. My God, how broken are you? Wow. It really is. It's a gift when you think about it. It is really a gift to watch the Democrat Party commit suicide. Not big into watching suicide, but this party is so ungodly broken, intellectually and morally bankrupt, and corrupt beyond belief. Corrupt beyond belief. I mean, the Democrat Party is the world's largest organized crime family, the biggest criminal syndicate in the history of the earth. It's true, and it's being revealed. One of the things that I've been saying is that the Democrat Party and the left always reveals their flank so we can kick their asses. And we're doing it. And we're doing it. What you're going to witness this year, the economy of the United States is going to achieve untold greatness. It's going to make Reagan's revolution look like nothing. Do you know why? Because Donald Trump is doing everything a country needs to do to bring manufacturing home, to level the playing field internationally, and to do things right. It is going to be light speed. You have no idea. Congratulations to all of you tipped employees, all of you overtimers. No tax, Social Security recipients, no tax. Nobody has done this in our history. No president has done this in our history. He is the greatest chief executive we've ever had in office because he is a chief executive. He knows how to do business. And the Democrat Party knows that spells their doom. That's why they tried to put him in jail. That's why they tried to take his fortune away. That's why they tried to take him off the ballot. And that's why they tried to kill him. This is the year the Democrat Party is done. The Democrat Party is done. If you're still a Democrat in good standing with the insanity of this party, with the nonsense that it is espoused, honestly, you need your friggin' head examined. You really do need your head examined. Let's have little boys cut off their penises and say they're girls, and little girls get put on puberty blockers and then told that they can become boys. Oh, yeah, let's do that. That's your Democrat Party. Your Democrat Party is nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. And this weekend, as the world celebrated the deposing of a dictator, the Democrat Party bitched and whined about it. Honestly, unbelievable. Welcome to the show. How was your Christmas and Hanukkah break? Mine was good. I drove about 45 hours. I drove about 45 hours in my car, in my Bronco Buck, and I had it was a mind clearing and soul cleansing exercise. I listened to music, and I know many of you drive trucks for a living, and you drive much more than I do. But for me, it was just it was an amazing, wonderful time. I stopped when I needed to stop, and I drove when I needed to drove, and I listened to spoken word, and I listened to music, and I immersed myself in it, and I prayed, and it was wonderful. I actually got misguided. I don't know if I was distracted, but I ended up in the mountains in West Virginia in a snowstorm. It was one of those things where you're driving along and all of a sudden you notice it's getting worse and it's getting worse and it's getting worse. And then you realize you can't turn back. And you're like, okay, well, you know what? Soldier on, go forward. And I'm driving, I grew up in this stuff. It snows a foot where I grew up. You go bowling, you think about it. So to me, it was just peaceful and beautiful driving through a blinding snow. It wasn't blinding, but the visibility was down. But it really was good. And I went home and I stayed with my kids. And one night, my son suggested that I stay at the house when my wife came back from her Christmas, and that lasted about 10 minutes. Here, let me give you an idea what the reaction was when she arrived at the house when I was there. Have you ever seen a cat being thrown into a bathtub or a swimming pool? It was like that. It was like that. Yeah. So I just said, I'm out. The positive is, and I'll just end it on this. I let go of anger and bitterness. I did. I left it behind. And I know that you guys, we've had some great hosts in here, but you don't have this. And I think what we do here is special. And I think that the greatest thing we can do is to entertain, inform, and motivate. That's what we are here to do. And I interacted with so many of you on social media over the break, and I met so many people. I met an Ethiopian guy. I went into Washington, D.C. to see the most incredible fireworks. No, it wasn't. It was a video display on the Washington Monument. I wept. It was so beautiful. The 250th anniversary of America. The people around me were embracing and hugging one another. It was absolutely glorious. Katie Zacharia is going to join us to talk about that on the other side of the break. But I'm riding with this Ethiopian Uber driver because I didn't want to deal with parking, and I got to talking to him about all of this, and I said, he said, well, I said, what do you want to do? And he says, I want to teach English. I said, well, I hate to tell you this, but, language is going to become a non-factor because I just ordered Google glasses that I can translate in your native language. So how about you teach people who come from Ethiopia how to make it in America, how to assimilate into the culture, how to love the culture, and how to do what you have to do to get to your dream. And he went, oh my God, that's great. And then I showed him a little video clip of my show. This is kind of funny. Ethiopian guy, maybe 30 years old. He goes, oh my God, I watch you on TikTok all the time. This is going to be a great year, guys. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here with you. I left Kansas and Kansas City behind. I left the sadness behind. I left the anger behind. I left the home behind that I put so much sweat equity and love and money in. I left it behind because we have to focus on the future, and the future is going to be glorious. And the Democrat Party is spinning like a baseball bat on a lathe into hell. They're not going to win the midterms. It's laughable to think that they will win the midterms. There is no chance they will win the midterms. We have to pummel them into dust because they're wrong about everything. They're on the wrong side of history. They're morally and intellectually bankrupt. And as I told you, they have to reform or disappear to the dustbin of history. Right now, they are in the dustbin, and we are about to dump it in the trash can. That's it. So we overwhelm them with joy and patriotism. That's what we're going to do. This could be the greatest year of your life for this country. I feel it in my heart and soul. And every day I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do my level best to make you feel good about it and to call out the corrupt SOBs that have done so much because they're being exposed. This is what we dreamed of. This is happening. This is real. This is real. So buckle in, because this year is going to be amazing. I promise you. I can feel it. Can't you? Patriotism, freedom, faith, circling the globe. Cuba is going to fall. Iran is falling now. Venezuela has been freed. We still got some work to do there. We are witnessing history every day. Soak it all in. I'll do it with you. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. The
liberal heads, they're exploding, their tiny brains are imploding. Trump has a mandate, the media hates, living in a MAGA wonderland. Lefties filled with dejection since they lost the election. Got beat really bad, and now they are sad, living in a MAGA wonderland. Mark Kelly is gonna be indicted, seditious six, as nervous as can be. Trouble for themselves, they all invited, their careers will soon be history. Chris Wray's future is so dire, Jerome Powell, Trump will fire, and the deep state make America great, living in a MAGA wonderland, thriving in a MAGA wonderland, winning in a MAGA wonderland.
Trust Pete, my faith in Pete's complete. He's taken out drug boats beautifully. I trust Pete. The critics are never-ending drug traffickers. They're defending. I repeat, blowing up their boats is neat. We got the right man for the job because I trust Pete. Pete Hegseth is a real hero. Proof he did wrong. They have got zero. Good job, Pete. You have pulled off quite a feat. Cutting down the flow of fentanyl, you can trust Pete. Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Big breaking political news out of Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz, who of course was the Democratic nominee for vice president in 2024, has ended his re-election bid for governor. He is not going to run for re-election. This comes as pressure has been growing around this widening welfare fraud scandal. Now, Walz has not been accused of any wrongdoing, but it has been a growing political headache. Let's get right to
he's done. He's cooked. His political career is over, and I can only hope that his foreseeable future involves investigations, indictments, trials, and ultimately prison, because you can't have this kind of fraud exist in your state without the people in power knowing about it, and it's been going on for over a decade. Katie Zacharia joins us on the Newsmax hotline. She's awesome. She's been everywhere. She was everywhere last year. My God in heaven. I mean, every time I turn on the TV, I see her face. It's fantastic. She is a Fox contributor, a Newsmax contributor, a legal and political strategist, among other things. Happy New Year, Katie.
Happy New Year!
Woo!
And I love being able to say Merry Christmas this last year as well, didn't you?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You know, Katie, I took 2 weeks off for the first time in my life, voluntarily. I mean, radio tends to give you weeks off, even years off when you can't find a job. But I took 2 weeks off, cleared my head, and I just have a feeling that 2026 is going to be, Katie, it's going to be the greatest year that we've experienced in this country while we've been alive. I really believe it.
Amen to that. You go all the way back to 1776 at this 250-year mark, where we have President Trump, who has reset the clock for the United States of America. And I know it's sometimes misattributed to Thomas Jefferson, but eternal vigilance is the price of freedom. And electing President Trump in 2016 and 2020, but we can get into that later, and in 2024 have been the most decisive victories for the history of our republic since its inception. And I truly mean that. I truly believe that, because if you look at what the left was doing and even the neocon Republicans were doing to our country, President Trump has brought it back to its founding principles of freedom and America first, and thanks God for President Trump. You know, I look at 2016, I look at the 3 Supreme Court justices, and people don't realize sometimes those 3 justices, and while I might take issue especially with Barrett, those 3 justices set our country up to be able to withstand the Biden administration for 4 years. And think if Hillary had those three nominees.
Oh, dear God. Think about what, if Kamala Harris would have been president, can you imagine? I shudder to think the country may have even possibly fallen by now. The border would be opening. The corruption would continue. The censorship would begin anew. I mean, I can't even begin to think what would have happened.
Completely. You watch what Kamala did to California. I'm out here in California.
Oh, dear God.
She destroyed our state as Attorney General, as District Attorney, as Senator, and then she went on to go be Vice President, a failed presidential campaign, and then Vice President, and then failed us at every chance that she had to save or help America. She failed as the borders are, especially as the borders are. And now looking at her tweets that are coming out, or her posts on X about Venezuela and President Trump, it's like, Kamala, who was responsible for letting in Tren de Aragua into our country?
Yes.
You were.
Yes.
So don't come and tell President Trump now that his policies are unsafe or not helpful for America. She basically destroyed our country single-handedly. And if she had the chance, would have continued to.
And she's dumb as a box of rocks without the rocks. But I'm going to tell you, the Democrat Party, it's so delicious that they choose the wrong side of history now, as hundreds of millions of Hispanic people around the world are celebrating the deposition of a dictator. The Democrat Party is supporting the son of a bee. I mean, honestly, could you even imagine how wrong these people are? And they think these bought and paid for protests are going to change minds. They just are digging a hole for themselves. They're doing a death spiral into hell. That's what I like to say.
Well, I hope that they continue to, because all I can think about while we celebrate our nation's 250th birthday this year, all I can think about are the 2026 midterm elections, because if they get Hakeem Jeffries in as Speaker, the last 2 years of President Trump's presidency will be, hell on earth, because they will stop at nothing to make sure he can accomplish what he wants to. So as far extreme as the Democrats want to go in supporting Maduro and supporting drug cartels and everything else, let them, because all it does is expose that they are not for the American people. They 100%. Are not for the American people.
And I don't think they're going to win the midterms. I'm not afraid to say it, because I've been right about everything for the last 5 years. And I can feel in my heart the Democrat Party is offering nothing to the American people. They have a lower approval rating than skin cancer, and they keep doing this. It's absolutely nonsense. By the way, I did go see the Washington Monument light show this week. It's only on through the 7th. Katie, I wept. I've not experienced that since I watched the United States hockey team beat the Russians in 1980 when I was a kid.
Yes, it's the Freedom 250. As we move to 250 years of America, they really looked and have taken the Washington Monument as this birthday candle for the United States to continue illuminating our history and why in fact we even have the United States, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and what it means going forward. And each of us, it should be a reminder that Washington Monument, and as we look ahead at the next events that Freedom 250 will be hosting, it should be a reminder for every American that we have to continue what President Trump has started, that this is not, and what our founding fathers started in 1776, that this is not something we get to sit back and allow the people, our enemies from within, to tear down our country. We have to fight every single day, and I know that all too well, again, out in California, but our country is worth saving, and our country has to be fought for.
Now, we've got to wrap things up, Katie, but I'm going to tell you, that was such a beautiful display. Where can people find out more information on that, and where can people find all of your glorious work, by the way?
Well, so you can head over to Freedom 250. I think it's .org.com. Freedom 250 is taking on this initiative and really, really highlighting, freedom250.org. And we have the National Prayer Event, Great American State Fair, 4th of July, national broadcast.
I love it.
The Patriot Games, they're going to be lighting it up.
Love it.
You can find me at Katie Zacharia.
You rock. It's going to be a glorious year. God bless you. Happy New Year, Katie. We'll have you on again soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
there's no place like jail for Kelly to stay. Alyssa Slotkin should be there too. Their sentencing will be a happy day, 'cause they broke the law and they will get their due. I'm watching Jason Crow on CNN. He is looking scared, trying hard to dodge the FBI. Miss Houlihan looked nervous. She was unprepared. I will be delighted when they're all indicted, 'cause there's no place like jail for those six to stay. In cells where all of them should be. A court-martial, it could come any day. Lock Mark Kelly up and throw away the key. Excess winning, he is thinning out the drug-dealing trade. In the air, bombs are dropping on drug boats. Venezuelans, they are failing to get fentanyl through. And in most every ocean, you'll hear exploding boats, exploding boats, taking out all their drug shipments. Maduro's sad, been hurt bad. Soon he will be overthrown. Bombing boats, their drug boats. More will be blown up today.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight.
Flying by the Statue of Liberty, just looking out there thinking, man, oh man, oh man, I always wanted to see the Statue of Liberty, but not with my hands cuffed behind me and with a blindfold. I love it. I just love it. Oh, my God, what a glorious weekend. Nicolas Maduro is now in custody in New York City, and in a picture-perfect mission executed by the U.S. military. My God, so glorious. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline, Brigadier General, retired of the U.S. Air Force, Combat C-17 Commander Blaine Holt joins us on the show, also the host of the Dangerous Intellectuals podcast. My friend, I'm just going to say, give me your thoughts. What do you think about this whole operation? What went down, brother?
Happy New Year.
Yes.
I am Maduro-free and loving it. This is, if you're going to arrest the bus driver, this is the one you wanted to go get.
Yeah.
And but there's so many extra benefits out of all of this, and it really is a multi-layered tactical event that leads to strategic circumstances, which are wonderful. And so, but it can't happen without the United States military's tip of the spear, our special forces. I have been on a C-17 and exercised with these folks, and I've never seen it go off this perfect. I've never seen perfection like this.
Brother.
But the strategic ramification is you just sent a message to the entire planet. Our military did not get soft during the Biden years. We have expelled DEI from the ranks. And we're back, and we are that good that our president can have the confidence to say, "Get that done." But sir, that's the most difficult mission on the planet. He goes, "That's right, go get it done." And then we go and we get it done, and we can feel proud about that.
Yeah.
There's only about 800 variables involved. We can feel proud about that, but our adversaries are taking note, including the ones in that very rough neighborhood, Cuba, Colombia, Mexico. They're like, "Wow, that could happen here."
You know, one thing I think that you can learn is if an armada of U.S. ships are off your coast, you might want to consider getting to a country where you can live the rest of your life, with in whatever freedom you can have, because your ass is going to be grass. I was reading a piece about this, and they've been training for months on this. They even went so far to use a replica of the presidential compound based on intelligence that the U.S. had gathered. They trained with what Trump called massive blowtorches in case they had to cut through steel walls on his safe room. I mean, this is the kind of exercise that comes along once in your military career, right? I mean, this is something you wait your whole life to do, and look what they did.
It is. It's funny. On Dangerous Intellectuals this morning, I interviewed Jonathan Gilliam, who's a Navy SEAL that used to work in this area, and he's like, "Damn it! What, that was my war. Why did I outgrow my chance to be in it?" But in this case, because of what's going on in our world, I might revise your statement to say this is the type of operation you might be in only 2 or 3 times in a career.
Okay, gotcha.
And because look at what the Ayatollah's done. He's like, "Man, I am looking at property in Moscow and didn't realize how beautiful Moscow is."
Yeah, and now
these are the effects.
I'm telling you, Blaine, I think we are witnessing, and it's been off on the, not the first story on the front page after Maduro and Tim Walz dropping out of the race. He still doesn't have the decency to leave the governorship and to resign. Hopefully, he's going to go to jail. But Iran is teetering. I've never seen anything like it. You got women taking off their hijabs, saying "screw this," playing rock and roll music, in the streets, and it's spreading across the country. How long do you give the Ayatollah?
Weeks. This is the thing, and I'm looking at the mainstream media going, okay, what has to happen in Iran for you to say a revolution is underway, for you clowns to go ahead and start reporting this? There are C-17s with America's best creeping towards that direction as well, and they may never even see an ounce of Iranian soil. It's just the deterrent effect from the operation we had. If you go to the national security strategy, actually President Trump has laid it all out. He's moving the world out of a rules-based order that the British Empire has enforced, especially picked up speed in Bretton Woods, to an understanding-based multipolar world. And it's not that we're falling in love with Russia and China, it's that we're acknowledging that we have spheres of influence, and we're inviting the two of them, and it looks like they're taking our invitation to get the hell out of our backyard.
I said this when before Donald Trump was elected, that when he was elected, a wave of freedom, patriotism, and faith was going to sweep the world, and I predicted the fall of Iran and the Persian people walking free. I still believe that it's going to happen sooner than later. Barack Obama blew that chance, and thousands of people died because of it. And he sent,
never tried.
He sent pallets of cash. What a sickening, what a pathetic little limp-wristed whatever the hell he was. Honestly, please.
He was with them. He's a Muslim Brotherhood guy. He was with them.
I know he is. But anyway, so we're going to see that. And then Cuba. Even Donald Trump said Cuba is falling, and I believe this too, brother. If that happens with Iran, just that alone would be, one of the greatest years in freedom in world history, let alone Venezuela and Maduro going. When do you suppose Cuba is going to collapse?
I do think that's in the offing. The Cubans on the ground are getting very excited about what they see before their very eyes.
Yes.
And a couple of things. First off, this would be such a boon to our country.
Oh.
I promise you, I will be the first one down there to buy a 2026 1957 Chevrolet. I will have one. And then the other part is that if the Democrats take over the House and the Senate, these are the things that President Trump will be impeached for. But at the same time, this is President Trump under his Article 2, Section 2 role as the Commander-in-Chief to protect the United States, his mandate to do so. And how many American lives will be saved as a result of all that drop in narcotics, human trafficking, illicit activity, and terrorism?
Well, I do not believe the Democrat Party is going to retake either house in the midterms because they're doing nothing right. And you look at the combination of what's going to happen with the economy, freedom in Venezuela, freedom in Cuba, freedom in Iran.
Yeah.
You look at the fact that they're cleaning up the voter rolls. They're cutting off all of this aid, all of this government largesse for states like California. The bleep is hitting the fan in places like Minnesota. People are going to be indicted and tried and jailed and deported. There's no friggin' way they're going to win the midterms. This doesn't mean that we sit on our butts. We have to get out and we have to wage war against the Democrat Party. They have tried everything, including trying to kill Donald Trump twice, and we have been able to win thus far. We cannot allow to let our guard down with the midterms, but the Democrat Party is offering nothing. Blaine Holt, can you hold on? I want to continue the conversation on the other side of the break, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
the things that is happening, I think you see it all the time. Howard, you've seen it. That Cuba is ready to fall. You know? Yes. Cuba looks like it's ready to fall. I don't know if they're going to hold out. But Cuba now has no income. They got all of their income from Venezuela, from the Venezuelan oil. They're not getting any of it. And Cuba literally is ready to fall. And you have a lot of great Cuban Americans that are going to be very happy about it.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be unbelievable if Cuba falls and the people of Cuba are allowed to be free again. You have no idea. The Democrat Party is convinced that that Donald Trump is losing the Hispanic vote for deporting people who came here illegally. Can you imagine what has already happened with the Hispanic vote with regard to Venezuela? And if Cuba goes, it's over. It's over for Democrats. Absolutely over. I am praying from the bottom of my heart that this happens. I predicted this was going to happen. I'm not a sage. I've just been on the planet a while. I have common sense. I have life experience, and I can feel it in my soul, and there's a reason why fate has brought us together at this moment. There's a reason why Donald Trump is in office after they tried to bankrupt him, jail him, take him off the ballot, and murder him. This is a godly movement. This is about serendipity. This is about freedom, and we are going to witness this year the greatest economic rebirth of America and manufacturing, and again, as I said, a wave of patriotism, freedom, and faith circling the globe as we drive the left and the Democrat Party into the pits of hell. I believe it. You may think that I'm being pejorative. Not one little bit. This is a movement of good. This is a godly movie. It is. That's why we're here. Blaine Holt, General Blaine Holt, your thoughts?
I completely agree with you. The scales are falling off our population. They are unplugging from the lies they've been told for decades. They look at the Somalia corruption in Minnesota in a completely co-opted state, $17 billion on learning centers, only to find out, wait a minute, this is a wash, rinse, repeat that's going on in California, Washington, Ohio, Maine. And so Americans they're pissed off, and they're rightly so. And so the nice part about this is I'll have people come up to me all the time, and I'm very humbled and grateful for it. And they'll say, "Hey, General Holt, thank you for your service." And I'm like, "Hey, we're in a new day. What's your service going to be?"
Yeah.
And that means you got to get out there. You got to say this is unacceptable. You got to go dog your politicians. You got to go make sure that there is election integrity. If you think that the cartels only bought off politicians in Washington, D.C., think again.
Oh, yeah.
Local and state are also on those payrolls. And what you have to do is you have to insist. When somebody stands up and says, "I don't think President Trump was rightful in taking Maduro," it's like, okay, fine. Where are you making your money?
Yeah.
Where are you making your money? Where did it come from? Because you are actually defending a guy who has killed thousands and thousands of Americans.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side of history, and you're on the wrong side of decency and karma, by the way. Here's the president talking about the president of Colombia telling him he needs to watch his butt.
So in response to the United States taking sanctioned oil from Venezuela, Colombian President Gustavo Petro criticized the United States by saying, well, the Southwest is stolen land and that it should be returned to Latin America. I just wanted to know what your response to that is.
Well, he has to watch because, he's got drug factories. They make cocaine in Colombia. And he's no friend of the United States. He's very bad guy. And he's got to watch his ass
because they know where those factories are. And what do you suppose the possibility of Trump sending in some airstrikes to take those out?
It's on the table. I can tell you that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But what I think President Trump wants to do is he wants to bask in the benefits of this Maduro operation, and he is going to now use indirect means to create more cost impositions over the coming weeks. And it's interesting that Petro would point out Southwest part of the United States as being theirs. Well, come get it. Come get it. But what I would expect is going to happen is that all of his agents of terror and narco-terror that are here in our country, all of the cartel members that are operating on every main street in America, well, they're up for grabs too. Yeah. And my understanding is that we're just a heartbeat away from the Insurrection Act being declared, since you have all these cities being protected by politicians that side with the cartels, don't care about deaths of Americans in their streets. So I think what you're going to see is the United States military getting active here in the United States. Posse comitatus be damned.
It's too bad for Hunter Biden. Where is he going to get his cocaine? My God.
A lot of them are going to be in trouble.
Oh, I swear. And you look at, I mean, Rogan was even mentioning the amount of drugs coming into the country and the amount of ODs and deaths has plummeted into the abyss. And the Democrat Party can only bitch and whine about Maduro being taken out of office. Another way that they're on the wrong side of the history, not saying anything about the hundreds of thousands of deaths because of fentanyl and other drugs. And now the deaths are plummeting. People are living, and the Democrat Party can't even admit that's a good thing.
All their NGO paid off, Soros paid off kids that want to be out there protesting in the streets. They're trading in their Ukrainian flags now for Venezuelan flags.
Yeah, I know.
you can't even make this crap up. And it's all manufacturers. It's like, hey, how much did you make on the gig economy with these protests? Oh, I'm into $20,000 right now because I threw a rock at a police officer.
Yeah.
And so the next is we're going to say, no, this is going to stop now in our nation because you're taking us to this very bad place. We're not going to let you.
Yeah, Azra Nomani did a fantastic piece, I believe it was on Fox News today, about how the organized protest showed up 12 hours after the removal of Maduro. It's all bought and paid for.
With professional signs.
Dude,
with professional signs. Already pre-printed.
And it's meaningless. And it's friggin' meaningless. And it's communists and it's socialists who are espousing the overthrow of America. This bleep has to stop. And I believe it is going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not fail our founders or your grandchildren is what I would say to every American who loves this country.
Man, it's going to be a glorious year. By the way, I was on King Street in Old Town Alexandria, and I saw a King Charles Spaniel being carried by some people. And I talked about this badass Brigadier General I know who has a couple of those dogs, and he becomes a big mush ball around those dogs. And he said, well, how can you not do that with this face? And then they showed me their dog, and I was like, oh, I see.
I'll tell you what, they're not going to guard your silver because they'll just, for some kibbles, they'll show the burglars where the silver is. But what they will do is they will guard your heart.
Brother,
dog out there.
They are, and I saw my puppies, bro. I hadn't seen them in 5 months, and it was like I returned from a deployment. It was such a gift going back to Kansas City, even for a few days. Dangerous Intellectuals is your podcast. It's a great podcast, by the way. Where else can people find your glorious work, Brigadier General Blaine Holt?
Always visit me at Newsmax.com. I'm liable to have a article written there on the Insiders page that'll rile you up. And Insider, DangerousIntellectuals.com. I'm always happy to see you there, and I'm always on the air with Newsmax.
Honor to have you on. Honor to have you on, and I think this is going to be the greatest year that you and I have seen as long as we've been alive in this country. I swear to God. I feel it. All right, bro.
That. We're blessed.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right, guys, how are you? Glad to see you. Glad to see you on today. My Rumbly Roo guys, how are you? I missed you guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. And it's so frenetic today because of the news cycle that I'm trying to get it all in. I've got 100+ clips that I need to run at some point today. I don't know how I'm going to do it. There's so much news to cover, so I'm going to do my level best to try to cover it all, with Tim Walz not going to run for governor. His career is over. He's going to be. He's going to have to lawyer up. I got to get that out. He's going to have to lawyer up because he's in a whole lot of trouble, and I hope that son of a bee goes to jail. I really, really do. Over there on the Facebook, hello guys. It's good to see you, Raymond Myers. You're new. Vote Democrats out of office. Yep. Pranay Yurpachat, Carol Leftwich. Good to see you, Dale Arsenault. I hope you had an enjoyable break. I'm so grateful that we had so many great hosts to fill in on the show. And I know you guys have missed me, and I know that I have missed you. And by the way, thank you for you guys over on the YouTube. Every once in a while, it's funny, we get these trolls who come on the chat and they say, Rob Carson is this and that. And what they're doing is they're trying to sow seeds of, whatever, because they know the show is growing and becoming more effective, and it's the only show like it. And so they show up, and you guys go after them like piranhas on a calf's leg. I think it's so fantastic. You guys just don't mess around. I'm so grateful to have you on my side, and I wouldn't want to be on your wrong side. Would not. All right, here we go.
The top and bottom of every hour throughout the day. Breaking news, stimulating talk. Only on Talk Radio 680, WCBM, and 99.9 FM in Harford County.
spent 320 here.
Okay.
I just want to talk to you, America, and I hope you have your coffee when I tell you this, but these are great news. All eyes on Venezuela. These are historical news. This is history in the making.
Yeah, that's the reaction from Venezuelans and Hispanic people around the entire globe. And here is what the left is doing in our country, bought and paid for by George Soros and others.
Stop bombing Venezuela!
Warning! The U.S. launched a massive criminal bombing campaign on Venezuela.
Yeah, you know what? They are really, really screwing themselves because nobody is agreeing with them unless you're a radical, leftist, Mondami supporter, academic loser from hell.
It's been an around-the-clock celebration for so many Venezuelans who gathered by the hundreds outside this Venezuelan restaurant here in Doral, Florida since yesterday, and they're back here again tonight.
Celebrations marking the end of Nicolas Maduro's rule erupted throughout the weekend, notably in South Florida. It's home to 500,000 Venezuelans. We met 25-year-old Christopher Moreno. He and his family arrived in the U.S. in 2016, fleeing the Maduro regime.
It's just a feeling. I can't explain it. We make a life here because...
You know, you leftists who are out here protesting, you can stick it. You can stick it because you are insulting those people in their most glorious hour, and you are pissing on what is one of the most successful military operations in American history, absolutely flawlessly. And it was, by the way, it was a police action. It wasn't an act of war. It was not an act of war. It didn't start a war, but it did do something that Democrats have been talking about for a long time, but they never do anything.
I don't know why we can't just acknowledge that it's been a good thing what's happened. I mean, I've seen the speeches from whether it's Leader Schumer or kinds of past tweets from President Biden. You know, we all wanted this man gone, and now he is gone.
Yeah.
I think we should really appreciate exactly what happened here. Now, remember, we all Democrats years ago wanted to eliminate him, and why have a bounty of $25 million if we didn't want him gone? Why would you do these things if you weren't willing to actually do something other than...
Because Democrats never do anything.
In harsh language. Let's remember, 8 million Venezuelans were displaced and mass chaos. And now they were shipping drugs to our nation as well, too. So for me, it's like, why as a Democrat... You know, we can't just acknowledge that it was successful.
And this is why they're spinning and doing a death spiral into hell. The wrong side of history, mentally, intellectually, morally bankrupt. That's your Democrat Party. 2026 is going to be the best year of our lives. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. You know, I saw an ad for Relief Factor a while back, and I saw a guy literally in tears with how he talked about the pain that he was experiencing was gone. It happened to me, too. I started it taking a few months ago. My hip was really bothering me, and I wondered, because I'm the age of, replacement of joints and whatnot, if it could be better. And I started taking Relief Factor, and it healed. It's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula created to help your body's natural inflammatory response, the same one that cause everyday aches and pains from aging, exercise, overexertion, and just normal living. It helped me with my hip, my neck, my shoulders, all the places that remind you you're not 25 anymore. Relief Factor supports a healthy response to inflammation, helping you stay active and keep those joints and muscles feeling good. It's made with 4 key ingredients: omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol, curcumin, and icariin, each one helping from a different angle. You can start with the 3-week quick start for just $19.95. That's less than a cup of coffee a day. So if you're tired of creaking like an old floorboard every time you move, give Relief Factor a try. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com and feel the difference. Relief Factor, because getting out of bed shouldn't count as a workout.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
The people of Persia will be free. Massive protests underway in Iran. This is from a town called Mardasht. Tens of thousands of pro-Shah protesters gathering and chanting for the removal of the Islamist regime that Jimmy Carter helped to usher in back in 1979, I guess. I was a little kid when that happened, and I remember it well. And the Iranian people have lived under the Ayatollahs since then. And the Iranian people, particularly Iranian women, have been oppressed and forced into subservience. The world apparently doesn't give a rat's behind about women when it comes to radical Islam, but it's about time that they were able to throw those headscarves in the fire pit and to walk free. And I believe that we are witnessing history at light speed the last couple of days. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. Thanks for joining me on all of our affiliate stations and, of course, on the streaming audience on all Newsmax social media, which is growing by leaps and bounds. It's growing by leaps and bounds because this show is the only show in America that does what I do, and that is to not only entertain, not only lead opinion, but to inspire when I can, to spread joy when I can, and to do satire because the left can't handle being made fun of. Conservative comedy is on the ascension because the left can't be taken seriously anymore, and I would ask that you every day wake up and be ready to experience history like never before, including Venezuela, with Maduro being arrested.
Yes. They have no Maduro.
Now he's in New York now.
They have no Maduro today.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
They bombed him and grabbed him. The CIA nabbed him. In handcuffs he was hauled away.
Yes, he was.
Maduro has been indicted. And Venezuelans are excited.
Yeah, they're thrilled.
Because they have no Maduro.
Not anymore.
And they thank the U.S. of A.
Hey!
Nicolas has been captured. His freedom's been taken away.
And Tim Walz soon.
Maduro is so vile, his wife will stand trial. We are gonna make them pay.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, they have no Maduro. They have no Maduro today.
You know, when Donald Trump, when Barack Obama was the president, I was in Washington, D.C. I had to do a music show because I was forced into it by some bad bosses who kept promising things that never happened. That said, my heart was in talk radio, and I remember reading stories about how in Caracas people were so starving that they would go and kill animals in the zoo. That's what socialism does. That's what socialism does. And of course, New York City's about to find that very soon because Zohran Mamdani was sworn in over the weekend, and he said this, one of the dumbest things I've ever heard a politician say. But you see, here's what we got going on in New York City. New York City is Lord of the Flies meets Animal Farm. It's a bunch of children who've been put in positions of power who are going to be self-destructive and have no rules, and then you combine it with Animal Farm, which is about socialism and communism. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's handing a 4-year-old the keys to the school bus and say, drive the kids home. And that's what's going to happen to New York City. It's laughable. By the way, New York City already had to jack up the cost of a bus and train ride to $3. And Zohran Mamdani, Moran Zamkami, that's what I'll call him, he says it's going to be free. He has no idea how he's going to pay for it. But I want you to listen to this idiotic comment by Zoran Mandami about collectivism, which, by the way, was just overthrown in Venezuela, is about to be overthrown in Cuba. It has always failed. But these children were able to engineer, with George Soros and others' money, a mayorship in New York City, and it's going to fail.
I welcome the change. For too long, those fluent in the good grammar of civility have deployed decorum to mask agendas of cruelty.
Okay, so that is a speech written by an academician with no life experience whatsoever. It's flowery and it's stupid.
Many of these people have been betrayed by the established order. But in our administration, their needs will be met.
Sure.
Their hopes and dreams and interests will be reflected transparently in government.
Yeah, just look at Cuba and Venezuela. Living the dream.
They will shape our future. And if for too long these communities have existed as distinct from one another.
Okay, that's absolutely meaningless.
We will draw this city closer together.
No, you won't actually. The left always divides.
We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
Okay, that is the dumbest frickin' thing I've ever heard from an American politician. It is the most profoundly ignorant, uneducated, and idiotic thing that I've ever heard. It has been proven by history to be false. Even the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post editorial board said of this, that line could only be uttered by someone who overlooks the human misery that has been visited in the name of collectivism. The greatest killers of the 20th century put virtues of the collective above individual rights and liberty. For the day cold reality of collective warmth, we recommend One Day in the Life of Ivan Desinovich by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. It was a very cold day in Siberia.
We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
Unbelievable. The only warmth of collectivism is bodies in body pits or ovens. That's your collectivism. My God. I mean, yeah, this is what happens when you're ignorant of history. This is what happens when you are ignorant of history. You are doomed to repeat it. And that's what they're doing in New York City. And you know what? I'm done with, honestly, done with New York City. You're on your own. You're on your own, man. Here's Zoran Mandemi without an answer for how he's going to pay for all the free busing and stuff.
And the other one, you're talking about fast and free buses and you're meeting with the governor. How are you getting that money?
Whether it's the corporate tax or whether it's the personal income tax on those who make more than $1 million a year or more, if there are other ways to raise this funding, the most important fact is that we fund it. Not the question of how we do it, but that we do it.
Yeah, it's not a question of how we fund it. It's that we do it. We don't know where the money's going to come. Maybe some uniformed, the tooth fairy riding a unicorn will descend from wherever and give us the money. We have no idea. It's just that we got to do it. That's how you end up with $200 billion in California of unfunded liabilities. California is bankrupt. Illinois is bankrupt. We find that all of the money that we've been spending for social programs is going to NGOs and being looted. All of it, to the tune of trillions of dollars. The biggest thing you've ever imagined. Here is Elon Musk talking about, he was in charge of Doge, you see. And because the Democrat Party saw their doom and their racket of looting the Treasury, they sent out their hordes to protest in front of Tesla dealerships and say Elon Musk was a Nazi. Remember that? He was a Nazi. Is he still a Nazi? Because he's got to still be a Nazi, right? Why are you not there? Oh, he stopped Doge. And by the way, Tim Burchett's going to take over Doge.
I think it's the biggest scam of all time.
This is not something you ever sought out to do.
The biggest scam of all time ever.
Of human history.
Of human history, yes.
Wow. I think you're right.
Yeah.
What else could be better?
$1 trillion scam. There's never been $1 trillion scam.
Yeah. When COVID happened, it was engineered in a Chinese biolab, and we paid for it, and then it was released in 2020 election year. Oh, I don't know. It was just a coincidence, right? And then, of course, mail-in ballots had to be used, and businesses had to be shut down, and the economy was crushed, and all that. Yeah, it was a psyop. It was, duh. It's sick people. And then Joe Biden and the Democrat Party ushered in a 40% increase in the federal budget. And then they looted it. And then they just stole it all. Unbelievable. And here is Elon Musk talking about the Democrats' worst fear, which is happening right now.
The single biggest thing that they're
that they're worried about is Doge is going to turn off fraudulent payments of entitlements. I mean, everything from Social Security, Medicare, unemployment, disability, Small Business Administration loans, turn them off to illegals.
All of them in Minnesota have been abused. All of those agencies. And by the way, all of the Somalians, I'll say it, I can say Somalians, because the Somalians, a good share, most of them are 89% are on some sort of social welfare program in the state of Minnesota. And the families of these Somalians who pretended like their children had autism got thousands of dollars every month for pretending their children had autism. And then the autism industrial complex grew, and then the home health care fraud circle grew, and then the Feeding Our Future, that grew. I predict that Ilhan Omar is going to go to jail, or if not, she will be removed from Congress and from the country.
Is the crux of the matter. This is the thing why they really hit my guts and want me to die. By using entitlements fraud, the Democrats have been able to attract and retain vast numbers of illegal immigrants.
And buy voters.
And buy voters.
Yeah, 100%. We were right about it, and we were told it was all disinformation and misinformation. Here's Donald Trump talking about Tim Walz on Air Force One.
This very stupid, low IQ governor, he's a very stupid man, because, I had a campaign against him with JD, and he's a stupid man, and he's a corrupt politician.
He is.
And the Somalians are ripping off our country to the tune of, looks like $19 billion.
More than that.
That's only what they can find. So usually when you're looking at 19, that would mean it could be 50. But the numbers are astronomical.
Yeah, and it's growing. It's growing across the nation, and they're cutting off all of this largesse to states like California. SNAP benefits are being taken away. This is former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy saying the entire Democrat administration in Minnesota will likely have to resign.
Walz is trying to leave because he could not win. If you listen to his statement, he wants to criticize the Republicans for holding accountability to hardworking taxpayer Monday. You're right, Keith Ellison. Now, I served with both of these men in Congress. I think the entire Democrat administration is going to have to resign, because this will not be the end. Let's give credit to Nick Shirley, a young reporter out there doing it on his own where others were not covering it, simply asking tough questions, and now Democrats are trying to wipe it under the rug. And
it's not going under the rug, and Keith Ellison is going to spend time in prison. And people have to spend time in prison. No one is above the law. In the state of Minnesota, no one has been fired yet for a decade of fraud, and it's getting deeper every day. People are going to have to go to jail. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. People are going to have to be removed from office. The spending has got to be erased, and people are going to have to spend some time in jail. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Schiff's scared, and he ought to be inside of a cell. He's gonna see Pencil Neck is going to jail. Lied on his mortgage not one time but twice. Get a good lawyer, that's my advice. Pencil Neck is going to jail. Leaked classified information to the New York Times. Schiff will be prosecuted for his so many crimes. His Senate seat will be taken away. Adam Schiff, he's gonna pay. Pencil Neck is headed to jail. Watch Adam sweat. A lengthy sentence he'll get. Pencil Neck, he's headed to jail. Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Many are anti-Semitic. Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate of America. Why are they here? Must deport before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer. Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs?
Yeah.
It's okay with me. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, it is.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bang, bang. Yeah. There you go, Nicolas Maduro. He went boom, boom. He pled not guilty, and he's going to spend the rest of his days behind bars. He had it out, man. They were said you can go to China, you can go wherever you can, but he chose to be proud in the face of a president who has cojones and a military that has been reborn because we don't have pudding for brains as the president anymore. Oh my God, what a glorious day it is to be an American! What a glorious, glorious day it is. Tim Woods has pulled out of the race in Minnesota. He's not going to be the governor ever again. His political career is over. Next, we need the trials, and we need people to go to jail, including Tim Walz. And Ilhan Omar needs to be deported. And Keith Ellison needs to be jailed, among others. Many people need to go to jail in states around the country. Oh, by the way, while I was gone, did you know that the price of silver exceeded the price of a barrel of oil? Did you know that? It surpassed $75 an ounce. Well, today it's at $77.24. Right now, silver is at $77.24. Unbelievable. Gold is at just shy of $4,500 an ounce. It was $2,600 in 2024. Why have you not gotten in touch with Birch Gold? Until January the 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility, start the process. Text ROB to 989898. Gold can help you roll out an existing IRA or 401k. Put it into gold. You'll be eligible for a rebate up to $10,000. $77 for silver. My Lord. When I was home, I got a bag of coins that my Uncle Virgil left me when he passed away, and I hadn't looked at this. It's in a bank bag. It's been there forever. And I opened it up, and there is a quart freezer bag with a whole bunch of silver coins in it. And I went, wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. $44.62 for gold, $77.24 for an ounce of silver. My goodness. $10,000 rebate for qualifying purchases. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, Rob, to 989898. Tim Walz is going to go to jail.
So, this is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you.
Yeah.
This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit.
Yeah.
This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy when you hear the Vice President of the United States talk about now white people won't have to apologize for being white. That's never happened once in my whole damn life.
Unbelievable.
And I think everybody in this room knows what they're doing. So we're here today to say enough of this. We're here today to stand that Minnesota will protect their neighbors.
You know, honestly, it's fallen. It's over. It's over for you. It's over. When you go to the white supremacy and all that bullcrap, everybody knows it is absolute bullcrap. Listen to this. Whistleblower inside the DHS uncovered Somali daycare fraud network in 2018, accurately citing $100 million in fraud and claiming it was funding al-Shabaab. Tim Walz did nothing. Tim Walz knew about it. So did Keith Ellison. So did Ilhan Omar. That's why she got this feeding our kids bill passed for $250 million. Her rear end has got to be sent the hell back to Somalia. And any Somali parent who took part in this nonsense, fraud everywhere. In the state of Ohio, improper payment rate of 45% with regard to Medicare, Medicaid, and other governmental largesse. On the hook for $9.7 billion. Michigan, Missouri, Pennsylvania, Illinois, all of them corrupt as hell. The first Trump administration found 27% of federal Medicaid spending was improper in 2020, or about $120 billion at the time. And when Joe Biden increased the size of the federal government during COVID, it went into light speed. Trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. With regard to Somali, how Somali fraud spread across nutrition, housing, autism programs. Somali-linked nonprofits Feeding Our Future was founded in 2016 during COVID, claimed to distribute meals to school children, but instead stole $250 million. Ilhan Omar was in charge of getting the money. She was in the restaurant that got like $9 million. She did her election victory there. The scheme listed 299 meal sites claiming to serve 90 million meals in 2 years, more than 120,000 meals per day. One FBI surveilled site claimed 6,000 meals per day, actually averaged 40. They knew it. They knew it. They knew it. Widespread fraud in Minnesota's autism program system followed the same pattern. The children did not have autism diagnoses, but Asa Farhan Hassan and her partners worked with professionals to have the recruited children improperly qualified for autism services. Parents who received monthly cash kickbacks ranging from $300 to $1,500 per child. Prosecutors also charged another defendant who approached parents in the Somali community to recruit children for his clinic, which ultimately submitted $6 million in claims for Medicaid reimbursement. The parents of these children need to be removed from the United States as well. Not just the people who created this, but the actual people who said their kids had autism, who said their parents needed care, whatever. They all need to go. You're gone. Back to Somalia with you. You abused the privilege of coming here. You never assimilated, and you're just an organized crime country, for God's sake. Unbelievable. Coming up, Iran is teetering. Thane Rosenbaum has thoughts on it, and he joins us next on The Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. You know, I saw an ad for Relief Factor a while back, and I saw a guy literally in tears with how he talked about the pain that he was experiencing was gone. It happened to me too. I started it taking a few months ago. My hip was really bothering me, and I wondered, because I'm the age of, replacement of joints and whatnot, if it could be better. And I started taking Relief Factor, and it healed. It's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula created to help your body's natural inflammatory response, the same one that causes everyday aches and pains from aging, exercise, overexertion, and just normal living. It helped me with my hip, my neck, my shoulders, all the places that remind you you're not 25 anymore. Relief Factor supports a healthy response to inflammation, helping you stay active and keep those joints and muscles feeling good. It's made with 4 key ingredients: omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol, curcumin, and icariin, each one helping from a different angle. You can start with the 3-week quick start for just $19.95. That's less than a cup of coffee a day. So if you're tired of creaking like an old floorboard every time you move, give Relief Factor a try. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com and feel the difference. Relief Factor, because getting out of bed shouldn't count as a workout. My nightly ritual now is a little ice, a little vanilla yogurt, banana, a little milk, and a scoop of chocolate brownie Beams Dream Powder in the blender. A little while later, I hit the sack and I sleep until sunrise. It's amazing. These days, everything moves so fast, and it certainly can mess with your sleep schedule. That's why I'm here to tell you about Beams Dream Powder. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. I've been using Beams Dream Powder for a year now, and I can honestly say I feel sharper, calmer, and more focused, and I'm not alone. Beam has improved over 28 million nights of sleep for people across the country. So if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, this is it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Use code Newsmax and take advantage of my exclusive offer for 40% off. You can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. So seriously, think about it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax today.
entering the United States and increasingly Europe. As Secretary Rubio stated just yesterday, this is the Western Hemisphere. This is where we live. And we're not going to allow the Western Hemisphere to be used as a base of operation for our nation's adversaries and competitors and rivals of the United States.
That is Ambassador Walz of the United States in front of the UN General Assembly and watching the Venezuelan representative just absolutely fuming. The world has changed after the weekend. The world is changing, and things are happening at lightning speed. We are seeing thousands of protests erupt around Iran. This is something that we have witnessed. We watched 30 years of hell in Venezuela. We've watched now 50 years of hell from Iran. And Iran and the Ayatollahs have literally ushered in 50,000 terrorist attacks around the world. Thousands of people killed, tens and thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands injured. It has been a reign of terror and darkness that has existed, and you almost have to have smelling salts or something to make you realize this is actually happening, that this is actually happening. And I predicted this would happen when Donald Trump was elected president, and because of all of the things that happened, all of the things they threw at Donald Trump, the entire force of every agency of government attempting to put him in jail or take his fortune and then murder him, take him off the ballot, censor him, take him off social media, raid his Mar-a-Lago, impeach him twice. They threw everything, all of the forces of evil went after Donald Trump, and we stood behind him, and look where we are, and look at what is happening. And I predict that you aren't going to be able to imagine how big this is going to be and how historic this year is going to be. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I knew it when I moved to Washington, D.C. I told you guys I'm moving to Washington, D.C. with you. I'm bringing you here. And I do believe you had a real major part in me coming here. And I want you to witness it because I've been on this planet, I can't believe it, 60 years. I've never seen anything like this. I saw the fall of the Berlin Wall the same year that Tiananmen Square happened. I thought that freedom would spread then, but then in China, they killed the students. They turned off the lights and killed 10,000 of them, crushed them and washed their bones and flesh into the storm drains, and then forgot about it. And the United States went back to business as usual China. What we're seeing now is incredible. Joining me on the Newsmax hotline, Thane Rosenbaum, legal analyst, law professor. My goodness, my friend, what do you think about the events over the weekend, not only with Venezuela, but also what's happening in Iran right now?
It's almost like dominoes falling,
yes.
Rob. You know, when you think about from toward the end of the war in Gaza, when the United States joined up with Israel in taking out nuclear sites and capacity in Iran, all of a sudden messages were sent that the United States isn't fooling around. It supports its allies. And there is a strong man in the White House. And for years, remember, it was Barack Obama who told Americans that we should not use the words American exceptionalism.
Yes.
That there's nothing special or exceptional about America. He literally said, we're no more exceptional than the Greeks feel that Greece is exceptional.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Seriously? You think the Greeks are saying to themselves, we're more exceptional than the United States? So we've been also beaten down during the Biden administration. We were told we were racist, white supremacists, colonialists, oppressors. So it's, you know, the country was being brainwashed with these terms of art. And I think when you use the example about Tiananmen Square, and I was thinking, the one difference here, which I think is going to drive you nuts, but it's true, I think, which is that the country is still largely divided. And so when they won't give Trump the win. They just won't. Mm-hmm. You know, so like if you watch the mainstream media, the focus is on the protesters outside the courthouse cheering for Maduro because the United States, we have a new mayor of New York City who's now essentially calling the president of the United States a war criminal, right? There's something really twisted about this. The Venezuelans are celebrating. People in Miami are celebrating. But the mayor of New York, the same kind of people that hijacked our universities, that hijacked our train stations, that screamed at everybody about words like genocides and oppressors, they still can't stop it. The hatred of America is so great that when you have a win like taking in Maduro and largely destabilizing that narcotics industry there, that's considered a war crime by America.
Yeah, but Thane, those protests are AstroTurf. Azra Namani wrote an extensive piece on Fox, among other places. U.S. military carried out a daring operation. Within minutes, the United States in information warfare, psychological and propaganda operation run by a hardened cell of self-described Marxist, socialist, and communist leaders happened. It's AstroTurf. It's as organic as a Twinkie. People are behind this. People are celebrating this when hundreds of millions of Hispanics or people of Hispanic origin or Central and South American origin are dancing in the streets. So are the people of America. So will the people of America when Iran falls and freedom returns. So will the people of America and the expats who had to escape Cuba when Cuba falls. So you can say all you want about with the left, but there's nothing we can do about the left. They're going to hate everything, even when it's a force of good. There is nothing bad about taking Maduro in custody. The Democrats were calling for it when Donald Trump was president before. While Joe Biden was the president, they didn't do anything. And now it's actually happening. What do you suppose that's going to do for their movement? It's going to kill the Democrat Party. And it's not going to gain any traction, Thane. It's not.
I hope you're right. Look, all I can tell you is, and you and I are both students of history.
Yes.
What just happened over the weekend, the response by the mainstream media on universities is not in any way comparable to Ronald Reagan at the Berlin Wall saying, Mr. Gorbachev, take down this wall, right? The whole world heard that. Americans were energized by it, right? When George W. Bush stood on the rubble of the World Trade Center and sent a message to terrorists, all the networks covered it. Even the people that didn't like George W. Bush, right, didn't like him, looked at that as a moment of American exceptionalism, American leadership, American courage. And look what you're seeing now. You're seeing, mainstream media is picked up. You have a new mayor. Now, I don't disagree with you. I think a lot of this is toothless. You say,
of course it is.
I agree. I agree with that. But it's just it's depressing.
I know it is, but you know what? Here's the deal: we've got to overwhelm them with. We have to overwhelm them with patriotism and faith and joy. Yeah. That's it. They're doing a death spiral into hell thing. Listen, this is CBS. CBS. They're changing their direction. It is remarkable, mea culpa by CBS. They had to change their plan for launching new CBS News Saturday night. Listen to this.
Good to be with you. I'm Tony DeCopel. The major breaking news right now. A daring American military operation inside Venezuela. More than 150 aircraft lighting up the night sky as the Army's elite Delta Force captured dictator Nicolas Maduro. Commandos raiding his compound before dawn, grabbing he and his wife in their pajamas just moments before they could.
Then they went on to do an entire story on celebratory celebrations by Venezuelans in America. CBS has realized what they've done. ABC, NBC, the others have not. And I think each of those houses, that's going to be a domino effect too, Thane. I believe that.
Well, remember, CBS has gone through a new turnover in ownership.
I know.
Right, and so clearly this is a manifestation of a number of things that have happened in the culture of CBS. But, it's one thing that they report it, right, which is exactly what you really want. You just want news networks to report the news. Just do your job instead of spinning everything.
I tell you what.
But my concern is, I'm not speaking for CBS because I work for them, so I'm just speaking generally speaking, whether these networks are saying, but we're going to put on a lot of legal analysts, unlike Thane Rosenbaum, who are going to question the legal authority of President Trump to undertake this.
And they will lose because their arguments are morally and intellectually bankrupt. I want to continue this on the other side of the break because I believe what we're experiencing with CBS is a Berlin Wall movement within the American medium. And it's been going on for a while, and I think it's going to accelerate. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. County.
As soon as Monday, we expect Maduro to make his first appearance in Manhattan federal court like so many other defendants before him, George. And in the meantime, he's going to be here at this decrepit federal jail in Brooklyn for the foreseeable future with Luigi Mangione, also awaiting trial in Manhattan federal court.
That is Aaron Katurtsky of ABC News with some sympathy for the devil, complaining about the accommodations of the despot Nicolas Maduro. Back with Thane Rosenbaum on this. Now, listen, CBS had a mea culpa. It may be too late for them. ABC and NBC clearly have not. But Thane, and I've said this last year, I said I believe that the good news of this administration, the economy, freedom spreading around the world, faith spreading around the world, will become too big for the media to cover up. And by trying to sympathize with Nicolas Maduro, nobody sympathizes with Nicolas Maduro unless they're a bought and paid for Marxist, communist protester in America and around the world. Your thoughts?
And, is down on America, right? The same kind of people that pull down statues and, and desecrate monuments and use the words racism. It's a one-track, it's the people that took over universities. They're the same people. I know. 1 minute they're cheering on Hamas, 1 minute they're cheering on Maduro. I know. Why are they? It's the same people. Why? Because they hate America. They hate any exercise of American power. They see any example of American, fighting for the good as ultimately bad.
Yeah, and
they never give America the benefit of the doubt. Everything America does is obviously, something that needs to be questioned.
Well, I'm very optimistic going into the 250th anniversary of the creation of our country, the exposition of all this fraud around the country, the defeat of the left in 2024, and I think good things are happening. I want to move on to Iran and Israel. What do you think is going to happen with Iran? I have a feeling the Ayatollah, he's already shopping. He's looking at Zillow in Russia, is what I'm hearing. I don't believe he's going to be long for control in the country. I don't think there's anything there's nothing going to turn this back now, particularly since Donald Trump said, if you start killing people, we're gonna get rid of you.
Well, that's the big difference.
Yep.
What we've forgotten is that Iran has been on the ropes before.
Yep.
In 2009.
Yes.
Rob, the Green Revolution.
I know.
Everyone was begging Barack Obama, please help out the Iranian people. Help them out. Yep. He was scared out of his mind. He had a fetish for the Ayatollahs.
Yes.
No one's loved mullahs.
And he's a Muslim Brotherhood guy.
He just loves them. He has posters on his wall of mullahs and Ayatollahs. So, with Michael Jordan and the mullahs, it's weird. It's a strange bedroom that Barack Obama had. But he loved the Iranians. And so there were several, remember, was it a few years ago, the hijab revolution, right? Women, where were American feminists on that?
Yes.
Where are you?
I know.
What's wrong with you?
Because they are leftist first. They are leftist first.
They will behead a woman if a husband throws acid in the face of a woman, and there's no consequence of this. Where are feminists on this? So I'm just saying that we've never really gotten behind, the dissident movements within Iran. Yeah. And the question really is, did Israel and the United States soften up the Revolutionary Guard so much, soften them up, and inspire the people that the people say, you know what, this time I think we can make this happen.
Amen, brother.
Especially, I think we could try, and maybe Donald Trump will send a message our way, move some ships in our direction. So a lot of this stuff, right, naval vessels, it's very symbolic, right?
Yeah, we're already there.
You move a couple things right into the Strait of Hormuz, And all of a sudden, the Iranians are going, okay,
these protests are becoming more bold, and the Revolutionary Guard are joining the side of the people. This is always what happens before the collapse of a regime. Finally, in about 30 to 45 seconds, Zohran Mamdani already doing a face plant. What do you think is going to happen in New York City? I know that obviously with radical Islam holding prayer vigils in New York City and playing the call to prayer, that's sickening. But what do you think?
I just read something, Rob, that I don't want to upset you, but I think I just read something that an NYPD Islamic policeman has now said that he refuses to salute the American flag and he's a policeman.
Who cares?
Because he only praises Allah. And the question is, will the NYPD, under the direction of a mayor who believes that Islamists deserve every accommodation as possible, to accept this? This is to me, this is worse than Colin Kaepernick.
Well,
right? If an NYPD policeman who's a Muslim is literally saying, "I refuse to salute the flag," even though it's required in our.
He's a bug.
Yeah.
He's a bug. Thane, already thousands of police officers have left. Thousands of people are going to be leaving. The tax base is going to descend into hell, and New York is going to descend into chaos. That's what's going to happen. And then they're going to have to do something about this guy. But
Rob, I'm counting on you to parachute me out of here.
All right, I'll help you out. I'll come and get you. I'll come and get you in my Bronco. We'll put a U-Haul trailer behind it.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping.
Thane Rosenbaum, I do believe we are witnessing history. I do believe 2026 is going to be an amazing year for America and for freedom around the world. We have many tribulations and many speed bumps ahead of us, but I know we're going to get there. Thanks for being on the show, my brother. God bless you.
Anytime, buddy. Thanks so much.
Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right. Who's watching? So much to talk about. I don't even have time to talk about all of it. What am I going to do next here? Hold on a second. I got to figure something out here. Yes. I'll do that next. So here we go. Duckman, what's going on? On the YouTubeage, Deplorable Dinosaur, Venezuela. Come on, baby. Maduro's going to be somebody's girlfriend tonight. Yeah, baby. Bubba, introduce. AOC down. Chevron Corporation's moved out of California. Yeah, that's true. California is headed for a big fall, by the way. California is headed for a big fall. And they're getting a lot of money taken away from them. I got this. Hold on, I got this. I'm going to do this here. Who's watching over here on... I got this up here because I've got this video clip coming up next here. I'll just get rid of it. Who's watching on Facebook? Sandra D. Hello, Sandra D. Hello, Chris Schwab. Hello, Carol Leftwich. You guys are busy. And Stephen Browning, welcome to the show. Please come inside. Look at all the folks who are watching. Ollie F9H, you're very active today over on the YouTubeage. Good to have you there. The Rumbly Roo, all of my favorites, Beck Ottenberry, Valentina. Carrie R. Corley Jr., good to see you there. Scareco 2. Please share with others as we watch this online audience grow dramatically. I do have a Rob Carson Show fan page over on Facebook. It is just brand new, so there are only a few members, but I hope you might consider. Just look up Rob Carson Show fan page. They're calling themselves Carsonites. I'm honored, by the way. Anyway, check that out. Thanks for watching. I got to talk now. While I was gone, an ounce of silver surpassed the price of a barrel of oil. By the way, the lowest price that I filled up for when I drove across the country was $2.12. Thank you, Donald Trump. Because when Joe Biden was the president, I remember one time it was $94 to fill my car. And this weekend I was doing it in the 30s. Unbelievable. Yeah. Silver's at $77 an ounce right now. Can you believe that? Can you remember? You probably remember when silver's $10 an ounce. And that wasn't that long ago. That was within the last decade. $77. Gold, you used to be able to buy gold a decade ago, $1,200 an ounce, $1,600 an ounce. It's $4,462 today. You know why? Chaos. The currency is devalued. Central banks around the world are buying gold because gold has always been valuable, and it's only getting more valuable and more scarce. Same way with silver. It's being used for all sorts of tech and whatnot. And right now, if you transfer an IRA or 401k into physical gold from Birch Gold, you are qualified for a rebate up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. But you just got to text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. Make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000. First time buyers only. Through January the 30th. Through January the 30th. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Gold at $44.62 today. Silver, $77 an ounce today. It's time to do it. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. Tim Walz is not going to run for governor anymore. He's going to be in jail soon. He'll be very popular there.
Step down, step down.
Jim Gossett.
Tim Walz should step down.
He should.
For allowing so much fraud.
He was in on it. I'm just going to say it. It's my opinion.
If Tim Walz would resign,
stolen valor,
Minnesota would applaud.
He got to go. He's going to go.
More than $1 billion lost.
Looted our treasury.
Lost to fraud. A tremendous cost.
Come on.
Step down.
Step down.
Step down.
Step down.
Tim Walz should step down.
It's coming.
He cannot carry on.
There you go. That is Jim Gossett. If you want to subscribe to Jim Gossett, support him, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy.
This is the right choice for Maryland.
Woo! I heard you click me. I didn't hear the bumper music under it.
it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
I'm proud of the way we treat our neighbors. I'm proud of the way that we welcome people to this state. I'm proud of the way that we innovate. And I'm proud.
Are you proud of your support of the Chinese Communist Party?
Proud of the way that we are optimistic.
Are you proud of the stolen valor and the lies about your service?
For the future. No one's taking this away from us. Not the fraudsters. Certainly not this president. Not on my watch. Tomorrow, I'll be back with you. I'll give you an update on
You're going to be resigning from the governorship.
America's best paid family medical leave program that is now
which is completely fraudulent.
Week into it. Yeah. And at that time, I'll take all your questions. Thank you all.
Yeah, and he beats a hates to retreat with no questions. Oh, you are in deep doo-doo there, Elmer Fudd. He does kind of look like Elmer Fudd, except for Elmer Fudd was a good and decent person. He's not so much. Tim Walz is not going to run for... this is the beginning of the end for Tim Walz. It's over. Tim Walz is done. And it kind of makes you wonder, because I think the Democrat Party did not have a fail-safe maneuver had Donald Trump won. They thought that they'd be able to take him out legally. They thought they'd be able to jail him. They thought they'd be able to to bankrupt him. They thought they'd be able to take him off the ballot. So all of 2024, they kind of expected that Kamala Harris was going to win, even when she was announced as the candidate and nobody voted for her. They were convinced that she was going to do it. I mean, I laughed when she became the candidate, and I knew she was going to lose. But they were not ready for this. And I'm wondering, you got to kind of wonder, if the reason why they chose Tim Walz was because he was so corrupt that they could continue what the Democrat Party and the deep state has done, now we are learning, in states across the country. You got to wonder, they needed somebody compliant, somebody who would go along to get along, somebody who would enrich themselves while Democrats, NGOs, all of these people enriched illegals to vote for them, and then enriched these NGOs, enriched Big Pharma, enriched all of these people who've been looting our treasury, and then ultimately gave money to the Democrat Party. That's what they did. What you're witnessing today is historic. 2,000 federal agents deploying to Minneapolis in an immigration crackdown and fraud probe. Oh my goodness. The Trump administration has begun a massive deployment of hundreds of DHS agents to the Twin Cities area as it escalates the crackdown amid a widening fraud scandal in Minnesota. Multiple law enforcement officials familiar with the plan told CBS News. CBS is reporting this. It's happening. What we have been begging to happen is happening. It's happening. This is going to be an amazing year. I didn't even realize how amazing. I shouldn't say that. How quickly this would hit us. Now the 5th of January, 2026. Wow. People are going to go after jail. Here is Donald Trump talking about all of the Democrat states who have been stealing trillions of dollars. I'm going to go ahead and say trillions. 4,000 daycares discovered in a 20-mile radius around Boston, Massachusetts. Clusters of condos and homes that are registering themselves as daycares. Americans can't even fathom the theft of money laundering taking place nationwide. This is on Wall Street Apes on Twitter. They get a lot of great information. Minnesota Somali fraudsters paid for Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royce rentals, luxury resorts in Kenya with stolen money. Some of the Minnesota Somalians convicted in the Feeding Our Future scheme reportedly enjoyed luxurious lifestyles with money stolen from the federal government. The news coming as the state is under scrutiny regarding more alleged fraud. It took a guy who's 23 years old just going to a building and knocking on the door to show the fraud. And the Minnesota authorities in charge of all these agencies knew this. They knew this was happening. No one is this clueless. They knew this was happening. The AG of the state of Minnesota needs to go to jail. Listen to this. This is some over the weekend. Craigslist ad in Minneapolis seeking child actors for a daycare in Minneapolis, Hennepin County has been discovered with a poster requesting 20 children to act as clients at a Somali daycare. And they were going to pay them $1,500 a day, up to 3 days, $4,500 to fill these daycare centers with children as actors. They know they're screwed. Oh, they know they're screwed. Ilhan Omar knows she's about to be removed from Congress. She's about to be removed from the country. When the math is done, according to Wall Street Apes, we will most likely realize our entire national deficit is comprised of these Somali scams and others, coupled with the other NGO grifts of the Democrat Party. In a nutshell, conservative taxpayers are working to fund Democrats and the parasites they've imported. I told you this was going to become a $1 trillion enterprise. Elon Musk saw it too. It has been confirmed Minnesota AG Keith Ellison personally met with Somalis and fraudsters to accept campaign donations. You notice he's been real quiet lately. You notice that? Yeah, you've been Somali's UN ambassador who previously oversaw adult Medicaid also served as CEO at a company reportedly placed on federal fraud exclusion list and banned from receiving Medicare funds. The Somali UN ambassador. I told you Somalia was the meth lab trailer park of the world, and I was right. Somali's ambassador was healthcare director in Ohio. Abukar Dahir Osman, Somalia's ambassador to the U.S., previously served as the director of suspicious healthcare company in Ohio, was listed as managing director of Progressive Healthcare Services, a healthcare company in Cincinnati from 2014 to 2019. This coincided with his tenure as the Somali ambassador. Minnesota Somali charities routed donations through Act Blue, the Democrat fundraising organization that put to elderly people on their listings, use their names and identities to launder money through them to the tune of thousands of dollars. Use their names. And Amy Klobuchar, who's talking about running for government, is being investigated about this. Massive money scheme. Senator Amy Klobuchar now faces federal litigation alleging orchestrating a massive campaign finance fraud scheme that potentially exploited elderly citizens' identities to funnel $10 million in illegal donations. That's what Act Blue did. Wow. And here's Donald Trump saying, these states who have perpetrated this ain't getting another dime.
From Minnesota and from the United States. It's actually more from the United States because Minnesota puts in, and we're not going to pay it anymore. We're going to have Walz go pay. We're not going to pay them, and we're not going to pay California, and we're not going to pay Illinois with that big slob of a governor that they have that doesn't want, we brought down crime by 25%.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. He's not doing anything. But they want us to leave. He had a day where they had 17 murders not too long ago. 17 murders and 77 people shot. But 17 died. And then he talks about...
The walls are coming down. They are coming down. They are coming down. Heather Myers on Newsmax over the weekend talked about fraud in California, which is exceeding the $100 billion mark with Gavin Newsom. He'll never be the president.
Well, good afternoon to you, Katrina and Andrew. This latest report was issued by the state auditor, and that's a nonpartisan position. That state auditor now puts 8 state agencies on the high-risk list of agencies to watch out for things like fraud and mismanagement as well as waste. Here's a look at that 92-page report. Woo! Newly added to the high-risk list is California's food stamp program. If the state doesn't get the improper payments under control, it could cost an extra $2.5 billion. Also on there is the Department of Finance, which was tasked with giving out COVID relief funds. Critics say $32 billion.
COVID was a massive scam. So is Obamacare.
Of that was taken by fraudsters. Then there are infrastructure issues like California's deteriorating dams and also the high-speed train that's already cost taxpayers $18 billion without a single...
What did I tell you last year? I told you every spending package that Democrats have passed have never fixed what they said it was going to fix. Barack Obama passed a $787 billion infrastructure package. $787 billion. Then months later, he said, well, I guess the projects weren't shovel ready. That's where I came up with the expression. If the Democrat Party comes with a big spending package, you'd better have your shovel ready because you're going to be shoveling a lot of crap. and they used COVID to increase the size of the federal government by 40%, and they just looted our treasury. I told you, they never fix anything. 50, 60 years in Washington, D.C. What's still broken? Social Security is broken and bankrupt. The infrastructure is still screwed. The VA is still screwed. Every department of government, including health care, we've spent trillions of dollars on health care, and now the Democrats, 15 years after Obamacare, are saying, health care is broken. All they did was enrich their cronies. All they did was enrich themselves. That's what they did with our money, and we should be righteously angry about this. This has to be the year of accountability in our country. It has to be. This is all going to be coming at us at light speed. And again, you just heard it from CBS. 2,000 agents moving in to go after fraudsters, start making arrests, and shut down this nonsense in the state of Minnesota. Tim Walz says that he is not going to run for governor. I predict he's going to be out of the governor's office. I won't say this week, but very soon. Very, very soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Download it today from your app store.
Led Zeppelin in 2026. I listened to a lot of Led Zeppelin on the road over the vacation, and thought about coming in last week. I thought about coming in last week, and then the thought went away because I have a lot of things to do. I get a brand new, the desk that I ordered months ago, the set desk, the same people who did Stephen A. Smith's, and by the way, Fox NFL desk, I ordered on my own money, and it's going to be delivered to this studio in the Washington, D.C. area. And you're going to see a whole new look on the show. We're going to start having people on camera on the show. We're going to have guests in the studio. We're going to start doing extended podcasts. It's going to blow up. It's going to be remarkable. My producer, Ken, said I'm talking too fast. Slow down. Maybe you're listening too slow. There's just a lot to get to. My first grade teacher, I still have the note, said that Rob talks out of turn, worst after he's missed a day. So pardon my enthusiasm and the rapidity of my verbosity. Maybe you need to listen faster. There's so much good news happening. You want to hear some more good news? You ready for this? Hold on. Let me find it here. Hold on, I'm going to find it. Oh, yeah. Here is Steve Bannon. He says that the Mark Kelly court-martial review is underway.
Welcome back. Okay, Pete Hegseth's got the ball rolling on Mark Kelly. I believe the start of the process. They're sending now. They've notified him to sending a formal letter of censure.
Wow.
Secretary of Navy's involved. They're going to take and review this. Secretary of Navy's going to review it for 30 days, and I think we're going to get the recommendation to recall Mark Kelly. Now,
I wonder if there are any U.S. military members who said that the action of Donald Trump with regard to removing Maduro from power was illegal. Did anybody decide to say no? Mark Kelly, you're in a whole lot of trouble, brother. And you're even worse trouble now because nobody in our military is going to question. Only the bat guano crazy lefties who sneaked in there are going to doubt why Donald Trump uses this military and how much he respects the people who are in this military. You are on the losing side of history, Mark Kelly. Wesley Hunt says that Ilhan Omar should resign.
Well, pending the findings of an investigation. And given some of the proof that we have already seen, that we already know exists, she needs to resign.
Yeah.
Period. We have a full investigation, and she does not need to be serving in the halls of Congress. That's it. How in God's name is she one of 435 people who clearly hate this country, who behave this way, who again, you're right, robbing and stealing my children's inheritance, our hard-earned tax-paying dollars going to a Ponzi scheme.
That's Wesley Hunt on the Benny Johnson Show. And the feces is hitting the fan. The feces is hitting the fan. I'm looking at Citizen Free Press. They've got a bunch of stories. $1 million to a Somali daycare center. Only has 2 children enrolled. The daycare center has received $750,000 since 2023, according to state records. In total, its owner has raked in $1.1 million. Wow. HHS Secretary RFK Jr. drops the hammer on Somali fraud, cuts all child care payments to Minnesota effective immediately. We have frozen all child care payments to the state of Minnesota. We have turned off the money spigot, and we are finding the fraud. HHS took 3 severe penalty actions against Minnesota, activated our Defend the Spend system for ACF payments. Starting today, all ACF payments across America will require a justification and a receipt or photo evidence. They're going after SNAP benefits, too, by the way. Brooke Rollins, the Agricultural Secretary, is ensuring that it's been abused. While we had to work 2 or 3 jobs during Joe Biden's administration, these SOBs, they said, screw you. These SOBs, while Joe Biden caused inflation to go up 10% one year, 30 to 50% over his 4 years in office, while we suffered, lost our homes, lost our cars, they enriched these people. My God, it is worse than I could have ever imagined. They want to identify the malicious actors in Nick Shirley's work, demand Governor Tim Walz comprehensive audit of these centers. He's in so much trouble. He's done. This includes attendance records, licenses, complaints, investigations, inspections, launch a dedicated fraud reporting hotline. All of this. It's coming down. It's coming hard. News Nation reporter found assisted living facility funded by Americans in a single-family home. The owner indicted in Feeding Our Future, still raking in $49 million. Rich McHugh was reporting. Medicaid still continues to shovel millions to properties owned by a man already indicted in the state's massive Feeding Our Future a fraud scandal, despite overwhelming red flags and a growing list of exploited public programs. The properties owned by Gandhi Mohammed, also known as Gami Abdi Kadeye, was indicted in February 2024 on money laundering charges for Feeding Our Future. And laundered approximately $1 million in fraudulent funds. Everybody knew about this. Ilhan Omar knew about it. Keith Ellison knew about it. They all knew about it. They all knew about it. Unbelievable. Listen to this. This is a report from a couple years ago on Fox 9 in Minneapolis. Remember when we were talking about money being sent in suitcases through the Minneapolis airport? Everybody knew about it.
It's the morning of March 15th. We're chasing a tip about a man who's leaving the country. Our sources tell us he just took a carry-on bag through security that was packed with $1 million cash.
2019.
You can do that as long as you fill out one of these government forms. We're told these cloak and dagger-like scenarios now happen almost weekly at MSP International.
Wow.
The money is usually headed to the Middle East, Dubai, and points beyond. Our sources say last year alone, more than 100...
Tim Walz went after 500 whistleblowers in the state of Minnesota. He knew exactly what he was doing. He's going to go to jail.
$100 million cash left MSP in carry-on luggage.
$100 million in carry-on luggage from Minneapolis-St. Paul International.
What we were interested in is where it was going.
Wow.
The national go-to expert on what's behind these mysterious money transfers is Glenn Kearns. He's a former Seattle police detective who spent 15 years on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force until his retirement.
It's an outright crime. It's unbelievable.
Kearns tracked millions of dollars in cash that was leaving on flights from Seattle. It was coming from hawalas, businesses used to courier money to countries that have no official banking system.
Wow.
Some immigrant communities rely on hawalas to send funds to help impoverished relatives back home. Kearns discovered some of the money was being funneled to a hawala in a region of Somalia that's controlled by the Al-Shabaab terrorist group.
Yeah. That's your Democrat Party. Look what they have done. This is the year that the cat comes out of the bag, or is in the bag. I'm not sure which one. But anyway, it's pretty amazing. We're witnessing history every day. Coming up, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer is going to be talking about what happened in Venezuela. It is legal, and he'll give us all of the details and what's next for the world. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. You know, I saw an ad for Relief Factor a while back, and I saw a guy literally in tears with how he talked about the pain that he was experiencing was gone. It happened to me too. I started it taking a few months ago. My hip was really bothering me, and I wondered, because I'm the age of, replacement of joints and whatnot, if it could be better. And I started taking Relief Factor, and it healed. It's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula created to help your body's natural inflammatory response, the same one that causes everyday aches and pains from aging, exercise, overexertion, and just normal living. It helped me with my hip, my neck, my shoulders, all the places that remind you you're not 25 anymore. Relief Factor supports a healthy response to inflammation, helping you stay active and keep those joints and muscles feeling good. It's made with 4 key ingredients: omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol, curcumin, and icariin, each one helping from a different angle. You can start with the 3-week quick start for just $19.95. That's less than a cup of coffee a day. So if you're tired of creaking like an old floorboard every time you move, give Relief Factor a try. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. beam.com and feel the difference. Relief Factor, because getting out of bed shouldn't count as a workout. My nightly ritual now is a little ice, a little vanilla yogurt, banana, a little milk, and a scoop of chocolate brownie Beams Dream Powder in the blender. A little while later, I hit the sack and I sleep until sunrise. It's amazing. These days, everything moves so fast, and it certainly can mess with your sleep schedule. That's why I'm here to tell you about Beams Dream Powder. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. I've been using Beams Dream Powder for a year now, and I can honestly say I feel sharper, calmer, and more focused, and I'm not alone. Beam has improved over 28 million nights of sleep for people across the country. So if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, this is it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Use code Newsmax and take advantage of my exclusive offer for 40% off. You can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. So seriously, think about it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax today.
Pretty straightforward.
Let me say again, to any country, any organization, anyone thinking of taking advantage of this situation, I have one word.
What?
Don't.
Oh, yeah.
Don't.
Don't.
Very clear to the Assad regime, but also to other players
From a guy who rides side saddle on a bike
on the ground that
in mom jeans.
a red line for us is we start seeing a whole bunch of chemical weapons moving around.
Let's have a real leader.
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to around with the United States. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Here's the president, Jim Gossett.
Nicolas Maduro had his chance. He effed around, and he found out.
We captured Maduro and we brought him here.
Yeah.
Venezuelans, listen to them cheer. To other dictators who get in my way, I say, go ahead, punk, make my day.
Come on.
F around and find out.
Man, it's good to be an American.
F around and find out.
Not so good a Democrat.
Iran's gonna find out. In the end, I'm gonna have my say. Putin better wise up, or we're gonna rise up. F around and find out. The war in Ukraine, you gotta end it soon. Those drug boats better turn around. Go back home or you'll be drowned. Nigeria is on notice too. Stop the killing, I am warning you. F around and find out. Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day.
Yeah, you are.
Find out.
Find out. Yeah, he did. He certainly did, and he's pled not guilty this morning in court in New York, and he's going to be spending the rest of his life in jail. This is Newt Gingrich last night. He was talking to Mark Levin about and by the way, Tony Schaefer is not going to be on the show. I apologize. Should have told you that. He said he's in a secure area. He still has an active role in our government and our military, so he has to be at their whim. And so Tony Schaefer will have to be rescheduled. But we are witnessing history. I told you that when Donald Trump was elected, we were going to every day was going to be historic. Last year, we just saw the beginning of it. We saw some amazing stuff. The border was sealed after being wide open for 4 years, and 20 million people coming in. And he did it with a snap of a finger. Unbelievable. He's already brought $20 trillion of investment back in the United States of America. Barack Obama said it wouldn't be possible to bring back manufacturing. He didn't have a magic wand. It's because, he's never had a job. That's why. Barack Obama's never had a damn job. Neither is Zohran Mamdani in New York. And he's got this woman in charge of like the housing. I'll have to get with this. And she's never owned a home, but she says that they're going to start taking – they just think they can take homes. That whole mess in New York City is going to come crashing down in a really big hurry. I'll have to find that for you. But here is Newt Gingrich talking about the history of this administration and what history will say about it.
They backslid after Reagan left. They backslid after I left. And Republicans find it very hard to understand these core principles. Well, that led to the rebellion of the Tea Party movement. And the Tea Party movement, I think, leads directly to Donald Trump. And Trump is the first one who is articulate enough, tough enough, persistent enough, has enough guts to really profoundly change things. And he is the biggest change agent, I think, that Republicans have had probably since Abraham Lincoln.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? When he was running, I remember originally when I heard he was running 2015, I was a talk show host before I had to sell cars in Kansas City, and I went to see Marco Rubio and I went to see Ted Cruz, and I didn't know. I mean, he was the apprentice to me. He was the playboy from New York. I didn't know. Did you know that he was going to turn the world upside down? Did you know that he was going to be the greatest president of our lifetimes? Yeah, I can say that. Suck it, Democrats, because he is. We've never seen anything like this, and this is why you're caterwauling. This is why you're doing stupid stuff like protesting the removal of Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela, because you know that every one of these incredible historic actions for good spell your doom. You know it. You know it. And that's why you get on the chat on my live stream and say stupid crap like, Rob Carson, your show is this and that. Honestly, shut up. I love it when people get in the chats on the live stream, because my viewers on the live stream eat them alive like piranhas on a calf's leg. It's so funny to watch. It's just so funny to watch. Absolutely incredible. Here is Newt Gingrich talking about what happens in the midterms. The Democrat Party is not offering anything to win in the midterms. They are still dependent on a sycophantic media that they think will cover up all the goodness. And I told you that the good news is going to outweigh all of the negative press coverage about the economy, etc. Have you noticed they're not talking much about affordability anymore? They've already moved on. Newt Gingrich on what happens in the midterms.
Trump is not a stabilizing personality. He is a change-oriented, dynamic, charismatic leader who leaves behind him a wake of extraordinary things. And I think clearly he's on the way now. If he can win the 2026 election and keep control of the House, he will be, I think, right after Washington and Lincoln as one of the great change agents in American history.
I completely agree. Look what we've discovered. Look at how corrupt our government is. Did you ever imagine? Could you imagine how bad it would have gotten under Kamala Harris? The border would still be open. Trillions of dollars would be dumped into illegals, and the elections would continue to be stolen, and they have been stolen. There's no doubt about it. 2020 was a rigged election. Everybody knows it. Please, give me a freaking break. You can't tell us it's disinformation and misinformation anymore. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to pay for what you did. You're going to pay for what you did. CBS, under the direction of Barry Weiss, this weekend, they had a little mea culpa. And if you've been listening to CBS this weekend, it's not like the other networks. And this isn't about fluffing Donald Trump. This is about telling the truth. This is the mea culpa from the new CBS anchor, Tony Dokoupil.
A lot has changed since the first person sat in this chair. But for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to.
No.
And it's not just us. It's all of legacy media.
Wow.
And I get it. I get it because I've been hearing about it from just about everybody for more than 20 years as I've traveled America on this assignment or that.
Wow.
My mom's neighbors in West Virginia, my own neighbors in New York City, thousands and thousands of conversations in between. Sometimes people want to talk to me about our coverage of NAFTA or the Iraq War. Other times it's all about Hillary Clinton's emails or Russiagate.
Yeah.
Or more recently, COVID lockdowns, Hunter Biden's laptop, or the president's...
all of the things that the liberal leftist media lied about.
Fitness for office.
Wow.
The point is, on too many stories, the press has missed the story. Because we've taken...
No, you covered it up.
...taken into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American.
No, you forsook the truth. That's what you did. It's not about what we thought. It's about the truth. It's about your abdication of journalistic curiosity completely.
Or we put too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough on you. And I know this because at certain points, I have been you. I have felt this way too.
Really?
I felt like...
Then why the hell didn't you report on it?
What I was seeing and hearing on the news...
Why didn't you go to work for Newsmax? Why didn't you go to work for an agency? Why didn't you become an independent broadcaster like Steve Bannon or like me? Why didn't you do that?
Didn't reflect what I was seeing and hearing in my own life.
It's not about what you hear. It's about the truth.
And that the most urgent questions simply weren't being asked. So here's my promise to you. Today and every time you see me in this chair.
What is that now, really?
You come first. Not advertisers, not politicians, not corporate interests. And yes...
Including Big Pharma? Including Big Pharma?
That does include the corporate owners of CBS. I report for you.
Yeah.
Which means I tell you what I know, when I know it, and how I know it. And when I get it wrong, I'll tell you that too.
You know, I grew up in a home where my mother had an abusive spouse. And that kind of reminds me of that. It's like, I'm sorry what I did. I'll never do it again. CBS News' Jan Crawford says, 5 bedrock principles for CBS News. We work for you, number 1. We report on the world that is as it is. We respect you. We love America. We respect tradition, but we also believe in the future. Please watch. I think it's too late. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
County.
He's still in place. The defense minister, who has deep ties to Russia, $15 million price on his head, he is still in place. I'm confused. Are they still wanted by the United States? Why didn't you arrest them if you are taking out the narco-terrorist regime?
You're confused? I don't know why that's confusing to you.
They're still in
power. It's very simple. You're not going to go in and wrap up. But you can't go. You're going to go in and suck up 5 people. They're already complaining about this one operation. Imagine the howls we would have from everybody else if we actually had to go and stay there 4 days to capture 4 other people. We got the top priority. The number one person on the list was the guy who claimed to be the president of the country that he was not, and he was arrested along with his wife, who was also indicted.
Yeah, there you go. Marco Rubio just making mincemeat out of Marge Brennan over there on CBS. Yeah. Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. Here is Greg Jarrett talking about why this was illegal, and it wasn't starting a war. It was enforcing a warrant for arrest.
You know, Trump can rely on the AUMF, the Authorization for Use of Military Force. Congress passed it a week after 9/11. It gives a president the unilateral power to capture or eliminate terrorists, which would include narco-terrorists like Maduro. So, you know, foursquare, the law is on the side of this president for acting as he did. And, you know, I think the template, you know, we've seen this movie before, was Panama in 1989. And Noriega was convicted and sent to the Hooskow. I think Maduro is destined for the Supermax in Colorado.
Yeah, there you go. I hope, by the way, in the prison that Tim Walz is going to go to, they have tampons in the boys' room. I really do, because he will be out of place. He won't know what to do with himself when it's that time of the month. Here's Greg Jarrett talking about any protestation from the corrupt United Nations.
Yeah, well, the UN Charter is not worth the paper it's written on. Its only good use is at the bottom of a birdcage. Trump did not need permission from Congress or the UN to act. His authority is inherent in Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution. Indeed, presidents have long taken military action over the last 200 years on their own to protect American citizens, to defend national security without consulting Congress.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you consult Congress? Why wouldn't you consult Congress? It's because Congress is hostile towards Donald Trump. That's it. That's that.
Of course, the media is going to be pitching a fit that they were not, and the left wing of our Congress is upset that they weren't briefed on this. Of course, they weren't briefed. They would have run straight to the media.
Yep.
The same thing they did when Soleimani was taken out. Yep. Trump took him out with a strategic missile strike. And so, as you see on the History Channel, what happens with drug dealers, thugs, and international thugs and dictators and mobsters. They always either swing him by a rope, shot in some alley, are taking international perp walk and getting ready to do some serious.
Yeah, it sucks to be you, doesn't it, Democrats? Because the president's doing everything legally, blowing up the drug boats, going after Mark Kelly for court-martialing him. You've been wrong about every damned thing because they are buttoned up in this administration and they're doing it right. It sucks to be you. And you just can't stand it. You can't stand the fact that the success is so amazing for this administration. And every one of these successes, you see your doom. That's just it. You do. You see your doom. You know it, don't you? Because Venezuela is an 80-20 issue. Capturing Maduro is an 80-20 issue. 80% of the American people say, hell yeah, arrest the SOB. Put them up on charges. Free people of Venezuela. We're thrilled about it. Only the 20% of the radical left bought and paid for. The same people who went to Elon Musk car dealerships and called him a Nazi. The same people who go to the No Kings. It's all bought and paid for. It's all AstroTurf. It's all as organic as a Twinkie. And it's not going to work. Here's the new phase of 80-20. And the left is on the wrong side again. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right. Here we are, kids. Hell of a show, wouldn't you say? Oh, let's see what we got over here. A lot of people watching on X today. Do appreciate you watching on X today. We get a lot of numbers on X. That's pretty nice. Colombian President Petro vows to take up arms against Trump. Go for it, dude. You are a complete and utter moron. Honestly, good luck. We got Dale Arsenault, Robert Lawson over there. Are the Dems stealing cheese too? What? I don't know what that's about. I remember getting free government cheese when I was in elementary school because we were poor. You guys are talking a lot about cheese over there. I cooked for my family while I was on break. Didn't get to make the mac cheese. I was going to make the mac cheese, but I didn't make the mac cheese. I did barbecue. I did some barbecue. I made some ribs, made some smoked salmon, fettuccine Alfredo. How about that? All right. Hello, Deborah, 1955. Good to see you over there. Valentina, Tom K., etc. Hope you're enjoying the show. It's good to be back. My producer, Ken Redneck MacGyver, says I sound refreshed. And I do. I feel good. I feel good.
So in response to the United States taking sanctioned oil from Venezuela, Colombian President Gustavo Petro criticized the United States by saying, well, the Southwest is stolen land and that it should be returned to Latin America. I just wanted to know what your response to that is.
Well, he has to watch because, he's got drug factories. They make cocaine in Colombia.
Cocaina.
And he's no friend of the United States. He's very bad guy. And he's got to watch his ass because he makes cocaine and they send it into the United States of America from Colombia. We love the Colombian people. I love the Colombian people. They're great people, energetic, smart, great. But their new leader is a troublemaker, and he better watch it. He better close up those cocaine factories. They have at least 3 major cocaine factories. We know where they are. He better close them up fast.
Yeah, Colombian President Petro vows to take up arms against Trump. Good luck with that, Junior. I mean, this is what Maduro said a couple of weeks ago. Bring it, you're a coward. You're going to F around and find out. I love it. Enjoy it. Rub it in the faces of people who have called you a conspiracy theorist or relatives who've alienated you and estranged you or friends who've done the same. You will be left in the dustbin of history. Silver's at $77.24 an ounce. I never even could have dreamed silver would be $77. More, $20 more than a barrel of oil now, thanks to Donald Trump. Unbelievable. Gold's at $4,500. Pretty close, about $4,500. Where's it going to go this year? Last year it went up 40%. Where's it going to go this year? Maybe you ought to get on the train here. If you've never considered gold and your first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. But that ends by the end of the month. I just want you to know. You've only got to the end of the month, and if you didn't do it last year, and I don't know what else I can do aside of ladies taking my shirt off when I do the ads, or maybe some of you guys. But anyway, because I do work out. But I got to tell you, you better get on this. You better get on it now. And Birch Gold is the company I trust. You should trust it too. I think you trust me. I'm not bullcrapping you, and they got my money. So text my name, Rob, to 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Text Rob to 989898, up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases rebated for first-time gold buyers, but it ends January the 30th, and it's already January the 5th. There you go. I was going to play a soundbite from Scott Adams. I don't have the time to do it today. Scott Adams did the Dilbert comic. He's been bravely conservative. He's been ostracized and et cetera, and he's dying of cancer, and he's very near the end. And he, over the weekend, accepted Jesus Christ. He said, I don't know what's coming next. I don't know if there's nothing, and I don't know if I'll be welcomed into heaven, but I'm going to accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior and Christianity as my faith. And now I'll be going into the great beyond. And he said, will you have me? Of course we will, and of course God will. What a great year it's going to be. It's so good to be back. God bless you guys. I love you. It's just, this is where I belong. Thank you for everything. Until tomorrow, do not catch the stupid. God bless America, and Happy New Year. It's going to be historic.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.